Many politicians have rallied behind the idea of supportive housing, places where people can live even if they don't have a job or are using drugs.
Okay, Fox 5's Morgan McKay here now with more on where the mayoral candidates stand on this issue. Morgan.
So every New York City mayor has had to grapple with the issue of homelessness and how it contributes to public safety. Candidates in the Democratic primary have all pitched their own ideas, but many are looking to what's known as supportive housing to help solve the issue. Supportive housing units have wraparound services that can address mental health and addiction. Critics of this program point to how these units do not require a person living there to stay sober or have a job, but proponents say this is partly why these units have been relatively successful. According to the city, people live in these units for an average of 8 years. But in a new report released by the Supportive Housing Network of New York, where these people go next is unclear.
They do exit. What are some positive exits out of supportive housing? But then also, are there returns to homelessness, and by what populations? I think all of this would be really helpful to learn.
So where does each candidate stand on the issue? Well, Andrew Cuomo, when he was governor, the number of beds in psychiatric hospitals in New York City fell by 28%. But now he wants to spend $2.6 billion over 5 years to build 600 new supportive housing units per year. State Assemblyman Zoran Mamdani says he wants to turn empty storefronts and underground vacant spaces in the subway system into triage centers for those undergoing mental health crises. Council Speaker Adrienne Adams says she wants to create a guaranteed basic income program that would be the largest of its kind and help more than 21,000 homeless children and young adults. And City Comptroller Brad Lander wants to move people off the streets into single-room occupancy apartments with on-site services.
If they're not in housing, then they're on the street. That's the only other choice. So you can have people go into hospital for a few days or a week or two, then they're going to come out. And the question is, do you want them back on the street or subway where they'll get worse and sometimes be a danger to themselves and others, or do you want them in housing and services? To me, it's a pretty simple choice.
And the county with the highest number of supporting housing units is the Bronx. Steve and Natasha.
All right. Sounds good, Morgan. Thank you so much.